Embarking on your maiden voyage can be a thrilling yet nerve-wracking experience, and we've all faced this at some point, and that's why today we're diving into what to expect on your embarkation day.
From setting sail and waving goodbye on your first evening, we've got you covered on what to anticipate and how to make the most of it. So if you're a cruise rookie gearing up for your first adventure, welcome aboard, you're in good hands.
And to all the seasoned sailors out there, feel free to share your wisdom in the comments if you think we've missed any must-know tips.
Hi, we're Andy and Shell from Fairway Cruising. If you're visiting our channel for the first time, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back to our channel.
Yeah, our channel's all about tips and tricks as we go cruising around the world to various destinations. We'll be sharing information on ports that we see and activities, etc. on the cruise ship. So if you'd like to join us on our journey, feel free to like and subscribe on the buttons below and follow us as we travel around the world. The day has arrived. Okay, before you head out, do a final check to ensure you have all your essentials such as medication, cash, credit cards, hats, sunglasses, swimwear, adapters, chargers and toiletries.
Yeah. And that you have your e-ticket or boarding pass, luggage tags, valid passport or government issue photo ID, such as a driver's license, depending on where you're sailing. Visas might be also required.
Yeah, and travel insurance, which we will discuss a little later further on in the video. And a tip here is also take small carry-on bag or hand luggage. Yeah,
It's a good idea to keep a small bag with you just to take these essentials around the ship and when you're boarding, such as your swimwear, medications, and any cash or anything like that. You keep it with you. Don't put it in your large checked baggage.
Yeah, and I mean the good reason about that is because your cabin might not be ready.
That's right.
So you just want to make sure that you've got something handy. So also make sure that you haven't packed anything that isn't allowed and shouldn't be in your luggage. So because you are going to actually have to check it in and they are screened. So yeah, anything you shouldn't take, don't pack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So have all your belongings, zip up that suitcase, pick up your gear, and now off to port you go. So I say let's now explore how the rest of the embarkation is going to take place. So on the app or the web for your cruise, you would have been advised of a designated time for you to arrive at port.
Like us, you may have seen comments on social media where people suggest to disregard the allocated time, but we don't support this. We think that you should turn up at your allocated time. That's why the cruise lines do this, is to make sure everyone's staggered and you're not going to be queuing up for hours waiting in a line because people turn up at the wrong time. So we always stick to the designated times. It's always a good idea to try and log onto your app when available and try and log the best time for yourself that you'd like. That's usually the best option, to try and do that.
Yeah, and really too with that, look, don't worry that you're going to miss out on lunch or grabbing some food or drinks on board, because there are always options available when you board the ship for food. So even if your checkout time is a little bit later, or check-in time I should say is a little bit later, you won't miss out.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you arrive at the terminal, you'll see a bag drop-off area. If you can't locate it, look for staff members who will assist you. A good tip is to make sure that you filled up your bag, you filled out your luggage tags correctly and have attached them on each of your bags.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's a good idea if you're taking a large bag not to try and take it through onto the ship for many reasons. You don't want to be lugging it around, plus it won't fit through the small security check. That's just for personal items. It's like at the airport, you won't fit a bag through there. So make sure you give it to the staff, who will then check your bag and take it to your room, your large luggage.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, well, be prepared that you have to wait in line to do your check-in as well. So make sure you have your travel documents, including your e-ticket, boarding passes, passports, licenses, visas, copy of travel insurance and credit cards handy. This way you won't have to go searching for them when you ask for them. And look, we're mentioning travel insurance here again because it is one of the most important things that you really should organise before your holiday. The reason is that you're personally liable for any medical expenses and associated costs incurred at the time before the cruise, on board or overseas, and some destinations may refuse entry if you don't have it. So like New Caledonia in the South Pacific, you need to have travel insurance. Yeah.
And on board, if you have a little, even a smallest medical situation, you've got to visit the local onboard hospital straight away. $500.
Well, we've had that personally.
We've had it a couple of times,
haven't we?
and we've had travel insurance, and they have no problem with paying. But you know, a bit of an upset tummy, you go down and get something for it, and all the rest of it, you're up for $500. It just racks up so quick.
Yeah.
And depending on where you are, if that's a US ship and you're in US dollars, and you're in a different currency, I mean that just can magnify the cost as well.
Yeah, and I'm thinking also with that, we've seen people evacuated by helicopter, haven't we?
Several times.
Several times.
Yeah.
When we've been cruising around Europe, etc., that they've had to be evacuated by helicopter off the ship. So that would cost an absolute fortune if you weren't covered with travel insurance, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So that's about travel insurance anyway. That's not what. Yeah, but it's important to make sure that you do have it. So looking back at our check-in then.
Once you're checked in, you will be given a cruise card or an accessory such as a medallion or a wristband. This depends on the cruise line.
Any of these?
This is what you use to access your cabin and any other onboard purchases. Ships operate on a cashless system, so there's no credit devices that can be used on board for purchases. It has to be used the medallion or your card or whatever.
Yeah, and if you're from, just thinking about that too, if you're from Canada or the US, I believe that you may receive, for example, your Princess medallion prior to embarkation. You don't have to collect it. When you're going through, you know, the security, your bags and you are going to be scanned and checked. So you will need to walk through one of those screen devices. So be prepared to be patted down if you buzz. Some people that I was travelling with just recently had to be patted down. Yeah.
Some cruise lines allow a small allowance of alcohol to be brought on board, such as a bottle of wine or champagne per person. You need to check with every line, but different lines are varied, but that's a general rule that is allowed. Don't try and take any more. What they'll do is they'll end up confiscating it, and then they'll return it to you when you disembark. So it's just a waste of time, especially if you've flown there and you're carrying wine or spirits or something, and then you've got to get it at the end of your cruise and then try and take it home again. Crazy. So just check with the local your cruise that you're going on, and just ensure that you are taking the right amount of alcohol on the boat if you want to. Of course, there's heaps to have on the boat. It's not a big deal, but some people do like to take a special bottle of wine to have with a meal or something like that they might have been saving for a special occasion.
And the other thing too is there are some cruise lines that don't allow alcohol. So for example, P&O in Australia, you can't take bottles of alcohol onto their cruises.
Full stop.
No, so don't try and attempt it because they will, once again, as Andrew said, they'll confiscate it and then you would collect it when you get back to home port. Yeah, right. So
same goes for these gadgets such as hand steamers. Just not worth trying to take on board.
No.
Just take it off you. These will be confiscated. Please check with a different line that you're going on, the ship line that you're on, but you just make sure you check so that you don't get it confiscated. It's just not worth it.
Yeah. Rightio. So we've done that. We've gone through security now. So we've done, and now we're about to head on and down that gangway and board the ship. By now you're super excited as you are about to embark on your wonderful cruise journey, and it's a great feeling, that feeling walking onto the ship and knowing this will be your home for a while.
Next steps to locate your cabin. Typically on the first day there will be a welcome crew to assist you to find your cabin, i.e. directing you to the right floor, starboard, port, and which direction to go. So there's help you do that. Directories and deck plans are available throughout the ship. Usually near the lifts and stairs, you'll see a plan and a layout of the rooms and all that. So that makes it super easy. Normally sometimes you cannot access your cabin as soon as you get on because the stewards are just not finished preparing them. So you take the opportunity to grab a meal and a drink somewhere. All those bistros and buffet areas are always normally open for food. And then you start to explore the ship. It
is worth noting that you can get lost for a first couple of days.
Yeah.
When you board a ship, you lose your direction. Oh, you don't. I do, and I've cruised many times, but I still get lost sometimes. So yeah, but it's all part of the adventure, I think. And I was going to say also with the directories these days too, most of the apps that the ships have will have a directory on the ship too. Yeah, about where everything is. So that's always nice and handy as well. Yeah. Have access to your cabin. Make sure that you do participate in the safety program. Now, normally the ships have a Normally the ships have a video that you can watch on your cabin's TV screen, and then after watching the video you would proceed to your assigned muster station for verification, and this safety step is really mandatory. It complies with maritime regulations, so the ship is not going to depart until everybody has completed this particular procedure. So it's a good idea to avoid being the reason for the delay, or for being the person who's non-compliant when it comes to this. Yeah, and you don't want to hold up the ship anyway.
No. Tip for you if you're unsure about your muster station is usually to look at the back of your cabin door. There's normally a map there, a diagram, and you'll find it'll show you where your muster station is. But this will be explained to you in your briefing on your TV in your room, and you'll know where to go. There's plenty of announcements and plenty of people telling you where you have to be. Also expect a visit from a cabin steward. They will come in and they will say hi, introduce themselves and see if you're okay. They are super hard working people. They spend many days and months away from their families, so please be kind and treat them with respect. They're not your personal servant. They're there just to make your holiday pleasant. And they do such a good job of doing that, don't they? Yeah. So now the choice is yours. You can drop and go, or do you unpack neatly? I know that I'm a drop and go kind of person, but everybody's different, aren't they? So it's now time to explore the ship. So check out the event listing program to discover what's happening. You can enjoy a meal from the available food options, like if you prefer, you can just avoid FOMO and reserve some spots in special classes, like cocktail making classes on P&O, for example, that you can't sign up for before you depart, and secure bookings for dining, special dining or events activities that were unavailable before embarkation. Check out any spa passes. Maybe you want to enroll in fitness classes, or if you've got some little ones or teenagers, you could check out the kids club. Mingle with the awesome team and sign them up. Ours used to have a blast at the kids club, didn't they? I loved it.
Yeah, they absolutely loved it. Yeah. Also, watch out for raffle tickets being handed out to attend embarkation events. Also, what about a sail away party? Who doesn't like a sail away party?
You?
I love a good sail away party, and if you're like me, you'll love the ones held on the ships because they can be awesome and they offer a chance to mingle with the entertainment crew and join in on the dancing, which is something that I just really like to do.
I like watching.
Me dance.
Yes. That is your embarkation day done. Have a wonderful cruise, and if there's anything else you'd like to add, just drop us a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching, and see you next time.
See you on the seas.